The boy stumbled upon a nest of pelican chicks on the beach, surrounded by the bodies of birds shot by hunters. Without hesitation, he carefully wrapped the chicks in his shirt and brought them home. He found a wooden crate, lined it with newspaper and dry grass, and gently placed the chicks inside. However, pelican chicks rarely survive more than a night in human care. They're incredibly fragile. The first major challenge was feeding them. They were so small, how could he possibly get food into their tiny beaks? The boy had an idea. He grabbed a small propeller, used it to mash up some fish, and fed the paste to the chicks with a dropper. It worked perfectly, though it did require a lot of fish. Watching the chicks eat eagerly, the boy couldn't help but smile. After a heavy rain, the boy's father returned from fishing. Excited, the boy dragged his father over to see the pelican chicks. His father was delighted. It was the first time since his wife's passing that he had seen his son so happy. That night, the boy used his father's scarf to make a cozy nest for the weakest chick, even letting it sleep in his bed. Miraculously, the chicks survived their first critical night. The next day, the father built a hand-cranked blender to make feeding the chicks easier. As days turned into weeks, the pelican chicks grew stronger, their bodies covered in soft down. They learned to beg for food at night, and the boy would sneakily use his father's cup to feed them. But one night, the noisy squawking woke his father, and the boy was caught red-handed. The boy named each of the pelicans, and they became part of the family. Every day, the father went out to sea to fish, not just to support their livelihood, but also to feed the growing pelicans. But as the birds grew, so did their appetites. What started as half a bucket of fish quickly turned into a full bucket, then 2 buckets, and still, it wasn't enough. The pelicans developed beautiful feathers and became the boy's constant companions. They played with him on the beach, chasing balloons and following him everywhere. Every morning, they pestered the father, eager for him to head out and catch more fish. But even with his efforts, the fish he brought back were never enough. Eventually, the father had to take the pelicans to the market to buy extra fish to keep them fed. The boy's bond with the pelicans grew stronger each day, but the challenge of caring for them became increasingly difficult. How long could they keep this up? And what would happen when the pelicans were fully grown? The boy's heart was full of love for his feathered friends, but the reality of their needs was becoming harder to manage.